a lot of violence in my neighborhood with gangs, drug violence. There's a lot of violence in my neighborhood. So I think with the kids learning about Agape Saudi Graha, it brings a different sense to the neighborhood where you don't always have to worry about violence on the streets, because they'll be more trained on how to, stop the violence and prevent violence from even happening in the first place. Agape Saudi Graha has two words: agape meaning unselfish love, and Saudi Graha meaning peace or truth force. And so that's where it comes from. Well, Jesus was a very nonviolent person, and he didn't believe in violence. And so it's kind of like being more like Jesus, with being more peaceful and not starting conflict. Is like being more like Jesus, walking in Jesus' footsteps. So that's what Agape Saudi Graha does. It takes the violence out of it and puts the love into it. I was raised in a church where you should take Jesus seriously, and you should want to be more like Jesus, so that when you die or when you pass on, you go to heaven to be beside Jesus. So I was just raised that way, and then it just added to my walk with Jesus, my faith in Jesus. It is kind of difficult because all your friends aren't raised the same way as you, and because I have old school parents, and a lot of parents aren't old school these days. So a lot of children don't take seriously church and walk in the faith. But it's hard to express it, but I try myself to express it in any way I can. And then I feel like Agape has given me an outlet to express it even more. If it wasn't for them being old school, I wouldn't be the type of person I am today. Persevering through things and always believing in God to get me through trials and struggles in life, and never giving up. I wouldn't say that a lot of new school parents don't take Jesus seriously, but they don't force it on their children to go to church and listen to what the pastor's saying about Jesus. They just say that they'll find it out their own way. Where my parents made me sit in church and listen, and made me, I can't do the things that I want to do if it's not God-like. It wouldn't be right. So they force it on me to be more like Jesus, and so I guess it's made me more of an upstanding person, to take myself seriously and look at myself and make myself present to others more seriously as what Jesus would want me to look like to others. My parents have always taught me, you don't need to fight, use your words. So when I went to Agape and they taught me how to use more words with, not being violent, how to mediate and ask the people, how do you feel? Well, I'm sorry for making you feel that way. How can I change it? It made me understand more why there doesn't need to be violence. Because when you fight, you're not getting any message across of how the person hurts your feelings or what they do to you don't feel is right. So with the words, it helps more, and it just builds on what my parents kept telling me over the years.